Hello again, YouTube. It's Greg Bruni, and I'm back with another video. Before I get started, I want to ask you guys to please like and subscribe to my channel. The name of my channel is Let My People Go. And in there, I have a few videos on, witchcraft, the effects of witchcraft, especially the unknown effects of witchcraft. And also, I have some videos on some solutions, things that people can do to help them out when they're dealing with any type of spiritual attacks. Okay. Now, in this video, what I want to do is I want to share a story with you guys. Okay, this is a story that I heard about a while back. Okay, and I find it very fascinating. Okay, and it deals with, you know, the type of things that I speak about on my channel. Okay, the witchcraft, demonic attacks, and things of that nature. And also in this story, it mentions sage. Okay, it mentions sage in this story. So jumping right into this, basically, first thing I want to say is that now this is a pretty, kind of like amazing story. Okay, so I I cannot say for with 100% certainty that these things happen. However, what I can say is that this story is very well documented. Okay, it's very well documented. It's all on YouTube, on Google. Okay, but of course I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you if all these things did in fact happen. A lot of times in these stories, things get like they exaggerate things, they make up things, so you never know. But it is well documented. And one thing I could say, I feel that even if these are not 100%, but I feel that something did happen, something serious happened. Okay, now in saying that, let me jump right into this. Now, this story is about a young woman named Miss Latoya Ammons. Latoya, Latoya, last name Ammons, Ammons. Okay? Reason I'm spelling it is so that, if you guys want to look it up, okay, as soon as you put her name in YouTube or Google, the whole story comes up. Okay? You can read, there's tons of information about it. Okay? So, what happened is this young lady, she rented a house for her and her family in Gary, Indiana. Okay, this was in the year 2011. Okay, shortly after they rented this house, strange activity started happening. They started hearing a lot of things, hearing a lot of noises at night. Okay, it stated in one of the things that I had read that they found boot prints, like through their house, and no one had been in there. They used to see like people walking around and just weird activity, all kind of weird things. Without going into too many details, just know that it was a lot of weird activity. Again, you guys can look this up and you can get all the details of the story. Okay, so now once they realized, okay, they saw all these things were going on, they realized that the house was haunted. Okay, but this wasn't just an average haunting. This was a very, very serious, okay, spiritual problem. Okay, as you guys are gonna see. So what they did was, what Miss Ammons and her mom decided to do was, they consulted with a clairvoyant. Okay, they went to see a clairvoyant. Now, the clairvoyant suggested to them that they move out. Okay, she suggested that they move out the house, leave the house right away. The reason was because she said the house had over 200 demons, okay, in it. Okay, this was no joke. Okay, very serious problem according to this story. All right, so That was her suggestion. Leave. Okay. Now, Miss Ammon stated to her that they could not leave because of their financial situation. Obviously, not everyone can just up and leave a house. It takes money to do that. So they couldn't do that. So what the clairvoyant suggested that they did was to burn sage. Okay. Now, they did that. They went home, they burnt sage throughout the house, did their prayers and stuff like that. Now, it states that the strange events did go away for a short time. Okay. So the sage actually did help. You understand? It did give them. Now remember, over 200 demons in this house, according to this clairvoyant. Okay. So the sage did give them a break. But what tends to happen in these situations is that, especially if the problem is very serious, right? You'll chase these demons away and they'll go get like reinforcements, okay, to come back even stronger. And that's what happened. Okay. They burnt the sage and it helped. But then, the problem came back and it was more intense. You know what I'm saying? The attacks were stronger. So in one of the cases, a family doctor, okay, had visited them. Okay, I guess he was close to them, so he visited their house. So this is detailed in a DCS report. When the doctor visited the house, okay, he said that her son started cursing and raging at him in demonic voices. Okay, now, one of the medical staff says that the boy was lifted and thrown into a wall with no one touching him. Then he suddenly passed out. Okay? Suddenly passed out. Again, this is all in the DCS report. The Department of Children's Services report. This is all documented in that report. They called 911. Okay, 7 or 8 officers and multiple ambulances showed up. Now they took the boy to the nearest hospital. Okay, now while at the hospital, okay, a nurse named Miss Walker stated that while she was with the boy, he got a weird grin on his face. He glided across the floor backwards, walked backwards up the wall to the ceiling, and then flipped over Mrs. Campbell, who was his grandmother. Mrs. Campbell is his grandmother, and he landed on his feet. Okay? Now, okay, yeah, it's very hard to believe. And again, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you for sure. But this is a DCS worker stated that she saw this. She stated that she witnessed it, and it's in her report, in her DCS report. Okay, now a man by the name of Charles Austin. This is Gary, Indiana's former police captain, okay, who initially thought that Mrs. Ammons was doing this to make money, okay? He later, after his investigation, he stated that I am now a believer, okay? I am a believer, okay? This was after his investigation and what he found and what he heard from the eyewitnesses, okay? And he stated that, listen, I don't know, but I'm a believer. You understand? So that is also documented. This whole thing, it was on the news. Okay, you guys can go on YouTube. You can see this man, Mr. Charles Austin, being interviewed by a reporter. Okay, saying that yes, he's a believer, and saying that what he experienced with this incident here. You'll find reporters who also spoke with the DCS worker, the nurse, okay, and they said that they saw these things take place, Okay. Now, after it stated that a priest performed exorcisms on the house and the family. And this is also documented. Now, eventually they moved out and back to Indianapolis, okay, where they were originally from, okay. And they now live peaceful, normal lives. Okay, this is after they left that house and moved back to Indianapolis. Now, Ammon stated that, it was Almighty God who solved this problem for her. Okay. After this, a man by the name of Zach Bagans bought the house. Okay. Now, Zach Bagans was the host of the Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures. Okay. He bought the house and then 2 years later demolished the house. Okay. Stating that the house was a demonic portal. Okay. So he destroyed the house. All right. And basically that's the story. Now, I gave a quick thing of the story. There's a lot more. There are a lot more details you guys can find on YouTube, on Google about this story. Again, I can't say if all these things did in fact take place, but it's my feeling based on the amount of documentation and the credible witnesses that they have. I feel that something did take place, something paranormal, something demonic did take place there at that house with this family. You understand? Because they have a lot of credible witnesses. You understand? They have a former police captain. Okay. They have a DCS worker, nurse, a doctor. Okay. All saying that they witnessed these things. You understand? So, I mean, this is for a lot of people. I'm telling this for a lot of people who feel that, things are impossible. Because a lot of times I will explain certain things to people and they will feel, oh, well, that's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Okay? You are only limited by your own mind. You understand? Nothing is impossible. So I found this story very fascinating. Okay. And sometimes it's good to tell other people's stories. There's a lot of proof about it, a lot of documentation. And also based on the fact that sage was mentioned in here. This is one of the things the clairvoyant told them to do. So I wanted to mention that to show that sage is, like a go-to. Okay, it's like a main weapon to fight against spiritual attacks, even though it didn't solve the problem. Okay, but it did help. Okay, it gave them a little bit of a break so they can kind of regroup, gather themselves, and, figure out what they needed to do. You understand? So, and that's basically it. That's all I have to say about it. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here because, I don't want it to be too long. But once again, I thank you guys for watching. Okay, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.